Were
Hello.
you falling asleep to that
Yeah.
tune?
It's the little 30 seconds is like, just relax a little bit.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
need like a proper thing when we maybe after we're done with everything we're doing, we can get someone to make a fancy intro.
We're never going to be done with
We're
everything.
never gonna. Hello, everyone. I'm Rosie. I'm the comms manager for Alchemy, and this is Peter.
Oh, yeah.
Peter's not here because he's going to WonderCon, which honestly doesn't sound like a board game convention to me. It sounds like a superhero convention. But instead, we have the lovely Chris. Do you want to tell everyone what you do? Maybe keep the list short. I know you do a lot of things.
Yeah. I wear a lot of hats. But for the most part, I'm the developer. So if you've done any test playing with us, you're usually listening to me. But I run test plays. I fiddle with some design work and come back and do more test plays and things like that. So that's generally what you do as a developer. You get it ready to, become an actual game.
Yeah.
So, yep.
And you do some illustrations and some graphics. And
Yeah. I mean, graphics works and illustration and design and all the other stuff. Yeah. And Kickstarter pages and videos and just keep going.
Oh my goodness. Rosie looks like she never put down her Christmas decorations. Yeah.
I would believe that.
I think fairy lights are an all year round thing. Especially as I don't like the big light because it makes me look much more tired than I am. Peter's here. Hello. He's watching on Facebook.
Right. There's Peter.
Yeah. And fun fact, I don't think anyone knows maybe that you did the trailer for Flamecraft.
That's true. It's the first thing I did for Cardboard Alchemy. I worked with Peter a lot before that. I worked with Dwellings and stuff like that. But yeah. And in fact, I made that video before I came over to Cardboard Alchemy officially. So,
I mean, one hell of an entry to a job.
Yeah.
The trailer for a $2 million campaign.
Yeah.
I love it. So today I've got a jam-packed schedule for us. I've got a critter quiz for you. Not just like what is the life cycle of a gnat, not that kind of thing. We're talking like it's like a day, right? We're talking critters in board games. Can you name the board game?
Okay.
This is the quiz that I ran at my event at Aircon with Kim Joy, and the audience answered all of them. Doug made this for us, and so he sent me them, and then he didn't give me the answers. So fingers crossed, someone will know the answer because otherwise I've got to go through a list that he's WhatsApp me.
I was afraid when you said you had a critter test for me, I was afraid you were going to test me on Critter Kitchen, which is a game I developed. And if I didn't know the answer, I'd look bad. So
no, I don't think I could test you on Critter Kitchen. I'm getting a lot better. I think that I'm now answering questions about very specific things, but I need to improve my solo knowledge a lot more. After watching Jenna's solo, I don't know if anyone watched Jenna's lovely solo video and solo playthrough. I'm ready now. It makes a lot more sense to me. I like to see people play it, and then I can go yes.
Yeah.
So
I worked with Peter, other Peter Hayward, Hayward on that solo, and it was fun to watch it be played. Yeah,
it was really nice and very chill.
Yeah, I like the music she had going on in the background. I was like, it's very nice.
I actually didn't notice for a while. It's almost like lo-fi.
Yeah.
It's just my life. Am I always lo-fi?
little theme music in the background.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, is it playing somewhere in my house? It was great. All right, let's get on with the quiz. And then we're going to be talking about the Flamecraft expansion.
I'll try not to look at the if you see my eyes over here, it's because I'm looking for answers. So I'll try not to cheat and look over there.
Oh, because you've got all the board games.
Yeah. No. This is where the chat is. I'm looking at the chat.
Oh, I see.
All my board games are in another room other than the ones I display back here, but
everyone can join in, obviously. I'm not making notes of how good you're doing. 1 out of 20.
How great would it be if I failed miserably? Just 0.
Don't trust chat. Yeah, don't trust chat.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is someone in the chat who was at the event who cannot say a word.
Oh, cheater.
Yeah. Well, it's okay.
Need
So
a direct message.
a really easy one. What board game is this from?
And why would
Mm,
you? Yeah, that's Critter Kitchen, obviously.
it's obviously Critter
Is it?
Kitchen. And the
And why
best
would
proof
you
of
pick that
all,
one? Is that the
yeah, I
best
mean,
one?
I didn't pick this one. Doug did,
Oh,
obviously.
okay. Okay.
Although if you saw Jenna's video, she didn't. The only zoo chef she didn't pick up was Lily. And so
Yeah.
Alex is saying, "Oh, Lily walks away sadly. Lily gives up on their career of being a
Oh,
super."
I know. Everybody started make her feel so bad about not picking up Lily. It's funny.
The choice was logical. She struggled
Yeah.
to get rumors, so
Yeah.
it made a lot of sense. Okay, number 2, and the chat can obviously join in. You can absolutely join in.
Oh, they're screaming Lily. Yeah.
That's not the answer, though.
Well, if they know Lily, they know
What
where it's
is
from.
Critter Kitchen? Next one.
Oh, that looks really familiar, but I know I haven't played it yet. It's not Creature Comforts.
It is indeed Creature
Is
Comforts.
it? Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of Maple Valley's art is a slightly different.
Wait, is this Maple Valley or is this Creature Comforts? Good question.
Yeah, because it's the same universe, right?
It might be Maple Valley. This is why I need to check Doug's list.
Ellie asked about Creature Comforts as well.
I thought it was Creature Comforts.
I haven't played Creature Comforts yet, but I really want to.
It's adorable. It's got a lot of dice management. You're collecting little cards and buying things to be able to upgrade dice.
I've watched videos. I'm like, oh, this looks fun. I want to try it.
It is really cute. I'm checking Doug's list because I don't trust my own knowledge.
Such a huge list.
It is Creature Comforts, yeah. It is not the same artist as Root, actually, Ellie. It's not. I believe it's the name R is going to the head, but it's not the same artist. I know that. Okay, this one might be too hard. I don't know.
Ooh, that's cool looking.
Really cool.
It's a big owl, huh?
Or a little one, depending.
Well, the thing behind him looks like a big owl, like it's a big giant
it's
owl.
a window.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
I think it's a little window.
Oh yeah, like he's in a little inside a tree or something like that. Or they have the burrowing owls. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, this one doesn't look familiar to me. So let me just do a wild guess here.
Mike says it reminds him of Mice and Mystics. It is not Mice and Mystics.
I can see that. Mice and Mystics is a little darker in its stuff, but this does. Well, there's some darkness here too. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't have a guess for this one.
So this is from a sequel to Everdell called Farshall.
Oh wow! I was going to say Everdell, but it doesn't look like.
It's not the same artist. No.
Okay. Yeah.
So they got a different artist on Farshall.
Okay. That was tricky because if you show me Everdell, I'm gonna know it. Yeah.
I will say that you don't normally play these games, right? So this is like if I was like sci-fi art from board games, you'd be like.
Well, I mean, I play Everdell. I have all of the expansions. Yeah.
Everdell is.
Although I haven't played all the expansions yet, only 2 of them. So.
I like certain ones more than others.
Right. Yeah. Like I like the what's it called? Riverbrook or the one with the frog on and the little river or whatever.
Oh,
it was the first one they had. Pearlbrook, I think it is.
Yeah. My ability to name things is gone. My favorite is New Leaf actually because it adds a train.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't played that one yet.
That one's great because it expands the meadow, meaning that you have more options as a 2-player. And it also when you get a card from there, you get resources and extra goals. So I really like.
I've heard of a house rule for Everdell that I want to try, where they take all of the critters and all of the places and separate them into 2 decks. And the meadow has 4 from one and 4 from another. And anytime you go to draw cards, you get to choose which one you're picking.
That's so good. I like that a lot because you're hunting.
Because you can never find the husband, right? You got 3 wives and you have no husbands that you can find in there, or vice versa.
Yeah. And then Doug's always looking for Scrabble champions. Scrabble. Yeah, Scrabble champions. It's the betting one where the more Scrabble champions you have, the more points you have. And he just loves the Scrabble Scrabble champions. Pandering to the love of frogs. I see what you're doing. Yes, absolutely. Okay, next one. Who's this fine chicken?
Oh, I've seen this. I've not played this game. I have seen this artwork. Oh,
I'm actually wearing, it doesn't help you, but it says 100 Acre. This is
that's
the
funny.
t-shirt that I was given from the people who made this game.
Yeah, now this is the same artist as Everdell, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yes. His name's blanking me. It starts with a B.
Andrew Bosley, yeah.
Bosley, yeah. One of my favorites. But yeah, I can pick out styles. I don't know the name of the game though.
We have an answer in the comments. Lots of people know it. It is Flock Together.
Flock Together. Okay, yeah, I haven't gotten the chance to play that one.
It's yeah, you're trying to protect you're going out and battling or fighting like foxes and things whilst trying to look after your. It's really hard. I've never beaten it. That's my own problem probably. All right, what about this one?
Root. I love Root. Root's in my top 10. It's a great game. And it's in my top 10 because of basically the design of it is just tremendous. I always advise anybody who's trying to design games, go play Root because that's going to blow your mind how they made all those factions work together.
I haven't played it yet. I need the time. I'm very lucky that this job allowed me the time to submerge myself into Andromeda's Edge. Games that normally have a lot of, you need to sort of do lots of play and understanding of different bits and pieces.
Yeah,
I don't have time these days to do that. I have 46 unplayed games on my list to get done by end of May. So
46 is pretty low for me.
I know, but
closet's full.
It's 46 I should play that I've been sent that I need to get through. So, but
yeah, it's hard because Root plays every person's thing is different. So when you teach it, the teach is long every time because you have to teach this person how their faction works and this person. Luckily, the game itself is like maybe a 5-minute teach. You say 5 minutes, this is what you do. Now on your turn, and then it just takes a while to teach everybody.
Are the player cards good enough that you could just go and be like, I'll just work it out from what I've got in front of me? Or
once you know one of the factions, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Because once you've played one game and you're handed another faction for the next game, you can kind of figure out, oh, okay, this and this.
Yeah, I do really want to play it. I keep going like, Doug, let's go play it at the Board Game Cafe. And it's just like block out 4 hours and just play it. But it would just be the two of us, so I don't know how good that would be. But
if it's just the two of you, then it's going to tell you to play the birds and the cats, and for your first game, and that's usually a pretty interesting one. But my favorite faction is to play the Wanderer, which is this one little raccoon that wanders around and interacts with them. So
I've watched videos on it, so yeah, I will play it because at some point I want to be able to answer the question: have you played Root with yes, rather than no.
I have all their expansions.
What about this handsome fella?
Oh, I just played that, and also Bosley. It's a River Glass, right?
Yeah, it's River Valley Glassworks.
Yeah, Glassworks.
And you just played it. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those games where I think it's great. It's a great accessible, like it's really accessible.
Yeah, I would almost call it gateway. It
definitely could be, and I think it's so similar to Azul in some ways that it you could be like get this and then go, oh, I really like this aspect, then play Azul.
I think it has the same aspect of Azul. I hadn't thought about that as Azul, but it doesn't have that. Azul can feel mean sometimes. If I can see that you're pulling orange, I'm going to grab the orange kind of thing. You don't really get that feel in this.
No, but what's interesting is it actually has the exact same storage mechanic that is in Above and Below.
Yep.
So I remember chatting to Ryan Laukat about that, and he was like, really? And I was like, yeah, I'd never seen another game with it, but it's about trying to store the rare items earlier because you have to lock the earlier ones in and then get the common ones later because you're going to have more of those.
Right.
And I've always loved Above and Below. It's one of my absolute favorites. So
Yep.
yeah. What about these handsome cats?
Okay, I was looking at this box. I don't remember what it's called. It's like,
What noise does a cat make?
yeah, I was about to say it starts with an M, and it was like some punny name. It's like,
It's not that punny.
oh, it's not punny. Okay, yeah.
It's just stupid.
It's cats
I mean,
in space.
I don't know what it means. All I just assume is it's a noise a cat makes. Look,
Oh, is
everyone,
it?
look at the comments.
Melum?
Lem.
Mlim?
Isn't that what
That's
a cat
not what a
does?
cat says.
Lem? No? Lem?
They say meow.
Yeah, but they also go like Lem.
Hmm.
I don't know why it's called Mlem. If anyone knows why it's called Mlem, otherwise, I thought it was when their tongue sticks out.
Neither of my cats say mlim.
Blep. Blep is the dog one. Yeah, Blep is when the
I have
my dog's
very
ear,
vocal
curled up.
cats.
When Doug gets home, you're going to hear him go absolutely loopy. Anyway, that's Mlem, which is a push
I've
or
seen that one. Yeah, I couldn't have told you the name though. I'm glad we just skipped right
That's
into it.
okay. What about this one?
Oh, that's so I've seen video of this and I've wanted to play it for a long time, but that's the it starts with a K. It's the one where they try to push each other off of the, it's like a sumo wrestling kind of thing,
You
but
got,
with bugs, right?
the second word, sumo. Yeah.
Kabuto, Consumo, or
Yeah,
something like that.
Kabuto
Okay.
sumo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love that art in
Is it
this
also
world.
Bosley?
Probably.
Did you pick old Bosley art?
No, I didn't pick old Bosley art. He's just prolific.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Neither of my cats say Malem. Well, that's fine. I have a dog.
I have
didn't know.
two very vocal cats.
This is
They
not
talk all the
Bosley.
time.
I'm glad
Not
this
Bosley.
isn't a
Okay.
test of our knowledge of artists from games because we do not know them.
Oh, Quanchai. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I love this art. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
He's a great artist as well.
What about?
And also prolific. Ooh. This is the first one that does not look familiar to me.
This threw the audience a lot.
Wow.
I'd say it's been out in the last 2 years. It's on a very old game. Okay. It's about a nursery rhyme.
Oh, is it the clock one? Okay, I wouldn't have guessed at all without your clue. The hickory dickory doc.
It is literally hickory dickory.
Yeah. I don't think I'd seen much of this one. I heard of it, but I haven't played that one.
It's cute. I like how you have this clock mechanism in the game, and you have the hands of the clock, and the meeples jump onto the hand and then travel around to jump off onto like worker placement areas. But depending on where you're sat, you could get pushed off, or you could. It depends. The order changes based on who's the furthest out on that hand.
Okay.
And then there's a cat that paws and swipes locations and blocks them and stuff.
Okay, so it sounds like a lighter theme to like Zolkin or something, where
it's very light. Well, I'd say I wouldn't say gateway because it's still got worker placement elements in it, but you have a little thing in front of you where you're collecting up buttons and things, and just like Azul or games where you're collecting things, you're trying to make patterns and then or match things up and then score them, but you can only collect them from those places around the clock. I think it's really sweet. I think it's definitely people who like Everdell and stuff like that. It's very much that weight.
There's a lot of critters.
You know how I can only store 10 images in here, so
oh really?
Yeah, so I have to now just pull them at random from my computer. Just gonna delete some of them now while we chat. So I can have some
I usually just share my screen and then hit the next button and move.
That's very smart. But for now, you get this guy.
Okay, that one looks vaguely familiar. I couldn't tell you though.
Oh come on!
Yeah, I don't think I know this game. I mean, he's a rhino. Oh, is it the? I've never played it. That one. It's like a knocking down buildings or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Rhino Hero.
Rhino Hero, right? Yeah, I've heard of it. I've never played it.
It is Rhino Hero Super Battle, but if you got Rhino Hero, I'd be amazed. It's one of Doug's favorite games.
Oh, okay.
And this game is the one that we go, when someone's kids are nearly old enough to play games, we're like, right, Rhino Hero, because this is a great one for like 4-year-olds.
Have you ever played Rampage? Or I think they had to change it to Terror City or something like that.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's so they named it Rampage initially, and then of course they got yelled at because that's a thing already. So, but they use meeples and things to build up a little city, and then you're supposed to use this thing where you blow on it to knock it over. And I've never played with it because I just Terror in Meeple City. That's what it was. Hey, Alex.
Hello.
I don't know who that is either.
I did a talk with her, and she has a game.
Oh.
And she's in Critter Kitchen.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I don't know the name of it.
So it's called Kim Joy's Magic Bakery.
Oh, okay.
And this is the art from her game. So,
that's cute.
And you can see why it was in the talk.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a co-op game about collecting ingredients and baking things whilst wild customers slowly get more and more irate that they haven't got their order, and you just got to get it to them in time.
Kim Joy's Magic Bakery.
It is Kim Joy's Magic Bakery. That's the one.
I like the style. It looks like a crayon or a color pencil.
I think it's the same artist who does her. She has like illustrations throughout all of her cookbooks as well. But yeah, it's really cute. There's a cat that lies across ingredients and gets in the way. She's great. It's my favorite mechanic. Let's do one more. Which one would you?
How many more do you have to pick from?
I did 20 in total, so probably.
Okay. There's a lot of critters in games, especially recently.
Oh, come on, show it. There we go.
Ooh.
I will have to look up this one.
Yeah, that one looks vaguely familiar, but I probably just saw the artwork. I'm not going to be able to tell you the name of it, but I like the look.
Anyone else in the anyone? Oh, guys, got it.
What is it? Oh, okay. Vetus?
Yeah. Vardis?
Vadi? Zuvadi.
Zuvadi. Oh, there was one that everyone's gonna. Well, I think you would get. I would assume you. I've not played this game, but I know you have. Where was it? Where was number one? I think it was number one.
Looks like the white tiger from Magic the Gathering.
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of art in that. I wouldn't instantly recall one.
I could probably go, that looks like the style of Magic the Gathering, but yeah, I wouldn't know all of them. Oh, I like this. This looks kind of like the root artist. It must be Arcs then?
It is Arcs, yeah.
Okay, I haven't played Arcs yet, but just based off of the style of art.
Very good. Very good. Yes. There was some Flamecraft art, but I figured everyone would get that. Felt a little bit on the nose.
And it's in the background.
Exactly. But yeah. I think you did pretty well for random critters thrown at you, because the crowd was like 100 people and they mostly got it, but that was 100 people. So,
right.
So,
Yeah, I mean, even if you haven't played the game, the artwork stands out usually. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, when Arcs came up, I was like, and then everyone in the room's like, Arcs, Rosie, and I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
it's cool though.
Kyle Farron is the artist they say for Arcs. Or
who I assume is also
Mike is saying, yeah.
Hey,
Mike.
I love the meeples they designed as well for Roots. They're like my favorite. Just the instantly recognizable silhouettes. I just love it. But yes, so let's move on to the portion which probably a lot of people want to know about. Yeah, I wish I had like a fun banner and like noise. There's going to be a Flamecraft mini expansion, I think. Yeah, something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah. I've been test playing that for a few months with a bunch of people. So some of the people in here will know some of it.
Let me make sure I have my notes. There's a lot of stuff. going into this mini expansion. A lot of ways that you can expand upon bits, so you can kind of pick and choose what you want to add into the game.
Yeah, it's kind of built in a module format so that you
Yeah.
can say, "Oh, I like when this part's in and what this does." And in some cases, you can even put some of them together, see how they work together.
Yeah. So let's start with, what's your favorite bit that you're putting into this expansion?
I mean, it's probably like I wouldn't say the hero of the whole thing, but really like the biggest and most interesting part for me is the high dragons.
The high
So
dragon.
there are 15 new dragons going in, and they are blends of those dragons, and they all have their own special abilities, every card. And
Yeah.
so it took a lot of playtesting because, only 6 of them go in per game. So you don't even get to try them all out in one game, right? You keep playing and playing. And they change the game up in so many different ways that it's really kind of like starting the whole experience again for a lot of players who are used to Flamecraft.
Yeah, you're not here, Peter. We're leaking stuff. Yeah. Yeah. We're chaos. What are you going to do? So yeah, Ellie's going all 15. So there are 15 combinations of them. So that's why there's 15. In Flamecraft Duels, which is what the campaign focuses on April 29th, there are 6 dual dragons or high dragons in that game because it's balanced for those 6. But there are more, so we thought, let's put all of them with new powers into Flamecraft, which is really exciting.
And those same characters are in the high dragons as well. So
exactly. So you can play Pearl in Duels, and then you can play Pearl in Flamecraft, which is also answered my question. Yeah, I knew it was a question that's going to come up because we're revealing them, and then we're like, well, actually, only 6 of them will be in Duels. But
which is thematic because you only play with 6 of them in Flamecraft as well.
Yeah. So yeah,
there's certain sets of them.
Exactly, and it's a really quick, speedy game. You don't want to have too many options like coming up. Like this 15 duels might. I don't think I could even look at the board if there were 15 in there. It'd be like, oh.
Oh yeah, yes. It would take over.
Exactly, but it's lovely to have them all in Flamecraft. Do you add all 15 into the game, or do you add a certain amount into Flamecraft when you play?
Yeah, you just pick. Yeah, well, there's sets of them. So there's 5 different sets. It'll say play with this set. Like one is called the gamer set, and that is the 6th set of dragons that you would be playing in duels as well. So you would take those and you'd shuffle them in with the rest of them, and you might even start with them in your hand.
Nice. But there's another set. There's another set. That's a different kind of format as well.
Right. There's one called the Gifty set. The Cozy set is another one.
Oh my goodness.
And part of the playtesting was afterwards. So playing like the Gifty set, I was like, did it feel particularly more gifty? And we get yeses, and cool. Then we're on the right track, right?
Can you give an example of one of your favorite powers for the high dragons?
Yeah, I mean, so there's a very simple one, Calzone, and he's a meat and bread dragon, and he's also in duels. But the meat ability is to place a dragon, and the bread ability is to take a dragon. Well, Calzone is take a dragon and place it. Oh. So very simple mesh. But then there are also more interesting ones, I would say. Not more interesting, but like for instance, tank is very fascinating because you can it says swap with another dragon, and then you get to fire it, pay a coin to fire it again, kind of thing. Cool. So that can cause some interesting stuff going on.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. I've seen, I think I've played with them a couple of times, but there's also another thing that we're doing. So Peter has spoken about this in previous live streams where all the team have their own dragon. It became like a thing. We all have our own dragon. And during the Flamecraft campaign, they made ones for the team and they added them into the game as companions, and you can use them as one-time only player powers. And so now we're bringing in more of those to fill up the rest of the team, which is really exciting. What does your power do? What's your companion's power?
So my power, it almost feels like we set this up. So my power is to fire all the high dragons that are out in town. So all those crazy abilities that they do, yeah, of course I'm going to give that crazy ability to my power, right? So, and that player also begins with 3 high dragons in their hand. So it ensures that people aren't going to just keep them all in their hands and keep them away from you. You're going to be able to put them out there and play. So, yeah.
I love that. That's awesome. And you got to time it right. You've got to.
Yeah, because a lot of those powers, you might get a bunch of stuff, but if it's your last turn, that's not so good. So you got to wait like just the perfect time. Do you wait for all 6 to come out? And somebody hiding one from you? Might as well go now. It's pretty interesting.
What does my dragon do?
So your dragon, I really like watching people play your dragon because it changes how people usually play the game. Yeah. After you play this game a lot, you kind of, everybody has their own little rhythm of how they do. Oh, I go for fancies first and then I do this. So like they have their own thing. And when they get your companion, their mind just like, whoa, I got to do something different. So yours is at any time you can spend it for every set of unique resources or goods that you have. So 1 meat, 1 bread, so on. For every full set of that, you get a fancy and a coin, I think it is. And you could do it up to 4 times.
And you're not spending those goods. You get to keep those goods.
Right. You don't spend them. So what happens is instead of like, okay, I'm going to get some goods and do enchantments, that kind of mode or something like that, people just start hoarding these goods and everybody's watching them like, okay, they're not enchanting like the rest of us. So, and usually you see them like behind everybody else and then suddenly, boom, Rozie power. And it's just, they take off and they get their fancies. And so it's a fascinating way to play.
The first time I played it, I tried to get to 7. I tried to get to the full amount I could hoard.
That's when we didn't have a limit on it at that point.
Yeah.
And now there's a limit
of how much you can have of each.
Right.
Which is 7.
We had to put a limit on it because people wanted to go all the way to 7. And by the time they got there, the game was almost over and they couldn't, like it almost became a trap. So we were like, let's limit it to 4. So,
Yeah, the magic number I found was around 3 or 4 because what you really want to do is get enchanting and using all those resources and finding the right time to do it. So, it's a fun, it feels like a push your luck game inside Flamecraft. There's been a few questions. Let me jump on those. It's probably been answered. Will the Flamecraft expansion have its own crowdfunding or is it going to piggyback on duels? It will be on duels. So on April 29th, there will be you can get Flamecraft Duels, the deluxe, the super snazzy, beautiful travel version. There's only deluxe in this campaign, so it's the time to get it for sure. And also you can back for the mini expansion. I'm going to check with Peter. Can I say the name? Or are we not doing that? I'm going to check with him. It's really cool. I love the name. I don't know if I can say it.
If you ask for permission to leak stuff, is it a leak?
This is one of those asking for permission leaks.
Right.
And then also you could choose to not back duels if you aren't interested in a 2-player game, which some people aren't. Then you can just get the expansion, and the other stuff will be add-ons like the plushies and the.
But you should also get duels because duels is awesome.
Yeah, I mean you're probably gonna regret it. Yeah. I am gonna have a stack of them. I just feel like hoarding my duels.
Just walk around with tournaments. Here, we're gonna play tournaments.
Honestly, yeah. Better to seek forgiveness rather than ask for permission. No, Esther. No.
No.
And also, is there a Nicole dragon? Asked from the husband. And he said husband because I say husband to Doug.
Husband.
I know. I'm wife, but said in the way that it's said from what's his name? Borat.
Oh, Shasha Cohen, wife. That one.
Yeah. Wife. I say husband. No, this is the husband. Husband.
Peter says name it.
There is a Nicole dragon. So what does Nicole do?
So Nicole, Peter says name it, by the way.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, you can explain Nicole. I'm not going to cut
Yeah.
you off. And then we'll
So
drum roll.
Nicole's dragon is let me make sure because we switched them around a little bit. Nicole's dragon is the one where you is that the one where you do the neighbors? Yes, it is. So you choose a shop and you don't have to be at that shop. You choose a shop and then you gather all the resources from that shop and the 2 neighboring touching shops. So
Wow.
yeah, I've seen people just get. If you could combine that with Rosie's, that'd be amazing, right? Because then you could use all those. But I've seen people. The cool thing about that is you have to wait for the shops to line up, and this is the only power, the only thing in Flamecraft at all that makes it matter where you put the shops down.
Yeah.
So if you're playing against someone who has that power,
Yeah.
you're not going to want to put a shop that's going to have a lot of resources in between other ones, set them up, right?
Yeah.
So I always start putting them on the outside so that so it delays whenever they can use their power.
Yeah, is it because Nicole is like a hoarder? Like what? Not a hoarder, that's the wrong term. Is it because Nicole likes to lots of shiny things, likes to
I think it's because she can make good relationships with all those shops and they all just love her.
Yeah. And multitask like no one
Yeah.
I've seen before. I'm gonna put the banner up of what the name is. I'm gonna do it. So this is the name of the expansion. I love it so much. It's Dragons and Dragons. It's so good. It's so good. And also, what is it for short? D&D.
I know, and I've had so many conversations where I say D&D, and I have to remind myself which one I'm talking about now.
Yeah, it's so good because it's just loads of dragons. It's just more dragons.
Tons of dragons in this. Yep.
Yeah, tons of dragons. I love it. You pun fiends, says Addie. Absolutely. We're getting some exclamations of joy. I love that all the companions reflect they're human. We tried to find a way to to relate to those things. I think we were trying to work because I'm a fancy dragon, my one. I'm trying to work out how to do that one. So I'm trying to remember what it was. It was that I don't know. I like to gather lots of stuff around me and then do it all at once.
Yeah, we tried to match it with the artwork too, and it like Lauren's power. She's a bread dragon, so on her companion, so her power has to do with dragons and stuff, and collecting dragons and using them. So
absolutely. But yeah, what else? Let me look at my list.
So Dragons and Dragons is going to be the mini expansion for Flamecraft that's going to be on Duels.
Absolutely. It's awesome. We've got the high dragons, we've got the companions. We are adding some new shops, which we can't say what they are, but we're adding new shops.
Okay, so we can't say the names of those shops?
Keep exact the secret is my note.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But they are
the artwork for some of them. They're beautiful.
The one of the best things about working for Cardboard Alchemy is the art channels on our communication, like Slack, because you just wake up to like all this art and you're like, oh. And then I just go in and like react.
Yeah.
I'm sure my memes are very useful. I love that. But yeah, more shops. I think we can say that one is inspired by, I don't know now. No, I'm not risking it.
Yeah.
There are some other things. So one of my favorite things is that it's a new way to sort of play the game. Is the park normally is where you get your dragons from.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that when people first play, you can't tease us like that. I'm sorry. That's just who I am. But the park normally, people always grab all the dragons. They're like, oh, they're so cute, and they grab them all. And the game ends when either the dragon stack or the enchantment stack runs out. So we've re-engineered and found a new way to play the park that gets you sort of thinking differently about that.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to, I don't know, give a rough overview of what the new park does?
Yeah, so it's not a shop. I don't know if I'm supposed to say what that is, but it's a new way to play the park. Um, yeah, I know you don't know what to talk about, right? It's a new way to play the park where instead of taking a dragon, you can fire that dragon instead. And so it causes some really interesting things to happen. And you only do it once per turn. So if you're able to take 3 dragons, you can fire one and take 2, or you can take all 3 if you don't want to fire them. But and yes, you can fire a bread dragon to take another dragon, but what's the point of that? The really the thing I love about this is that the in game of Flamecraft, bread dragons usually kind of like, okay, I don't need any more dragons in my hand at this point. I need to get and stuff. But bread dragons now at the end are still so important because you can fire any of those dragons in the park, and yeah, it makes it very useful.
Yeah, I really like it. I think also it makes you think about your turn and what you need, and that it can help you get more of what you need. But also, you're probably going to end up with less dragons in your hands. So when you go to a place and you can play a dragon, like, do you even have dragons to play because you've been using those? So it's really interesting.
Also, when high dragons are played with that in tandem, it creates really interesting scenarios because you can fire high dragons in those spots.
Yeah, I love it. So where was it? Someone said this is partial information. The chat was Alex. Yeah, that sounds about right. What we're doing is this really clever thing where we give you just enough so that you'll go and follow the campaign. We hit over 5,000 subs now, which is awesome. And if we give you too much, then you'll just be full, like you've eaten too much roast dinner.
Yeah, Peter's we're not firing dragons, we're firing up dragons. Firing up.
You're gone, and you're gone. Yeah, I love that. And then there's also going to be some new enchantments as well. That's on my list.
Yes. So
this is just Peter going, this is okay, not this.
Right. If he said it that way, then I can't say what they're called.
Oh no, he did say. That's fine.
Well, then you say it because I don't know what he said. Now you're getting me all. No, don't say it.
They're called upscales.
Upscales. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So these aren't
elemental
exactly enchantments. Yeah, they're not exactly enchantments. They're enhancements to enchantments. So after you do an enchantment, you can pay a little more and get something special from that. And there's, I don't know if I say that. So it comes from a shop, but not a shop. You don't visit it. It's just out there. And the artwork for that I've seen, it's one of my favorites so far.
Yeah. And there's so much in this mini expansion. I mean, have you tried putting it all in?
I'm kind of against calling it a mini expansion at this point. It's just expansion. It's a modular expansion.
This modular expansion. I think modular sounds dull though. I love small things. It'll be a lot of cards and things, so it won't be a large package or anything, which is great.
I've put several things together, and we have tried playing all of it together. I don't think we recommend putting all of it together your first time. Maybe not even at all, but I think what I'd recommend is play with like 1 or 2 things and see how they feel, and then just start putting in more and more. Every game will feel different doing that. So,
and I think people will find something that they permanently add into the game. Like they will be like, I will always play the park this way now. I found I did that with. Oh my goodness. There's a game where they made an expansion and it won loads of awards, and I was like, I couldn't not add this in anymore. Like this is permanently changed.
The Lords of Waterdeep one is the one that always comes to my mind whenever it's a expansion that you can't not play with.
Living Forest. The Living Forest expansion made a way so you could push the win conditions back. If someone was about to win, you could go, nope, it's now harder for you to do it. So yeah, I like that. Yeah. But yeah, I'm really excited. I think we've had a lot of people asking for extra content for it for a long time, and we just wanted to make sure that it was right, and things that we, after a lot of people telling us what they wanted to see and that kind of thing, like it's really fed into that. So if you've ever given us like feedback and stuff like that, it's really helpful. Thank you so much. Yeah, really exciting. And then of course there will be bundles, 2 bundles of the promos shops that we've released. So one bundle will be all the promos we did during the Flamecraft campaign. So if you missed out on the Kickstarter stuff from the Flamecraft campaign, those bundles, those promos, then that'll be one bundle. But if you backed that and got everything, but you don't have the newer ones that we've released after that, for example, Rare Medium, Stuff the Magic Dragon, all those ones, they're going to be a separate one. So just take my wallet. Is it adorable? Because I might. Is it a cute thing? It's yours. Although if I gave you mine, it's just a Costa card, for coffee. So it's like, take my wallet. It's nothing. But yeah, so if you are looking to get the promo shops, then this is a great way to do it. There'll be 2 bundles of them together, which is really exciting. But yeah, and then of course Flamecraft Duels will be there, and we're doing 2 new plush, the Iron and the Plant, which is great. Where do you store your plush? Are they not in this red room that you've created with Batman?
Oh, okay.
There they are.
Yep, they're right there.
I didn't see them.
For a while, Batman was holding them and protecting them. Oh, then there's a bottle right there.
I love that. So have you got room for 2 more?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Just line them up on the whole couch there. Just one bundle.
Rosie. Did I mess up? One bundle. I thought there was 2. All past
Mike asking if solo play content in Dragons and Dragons. Possibly. See what
that's probably what you can say.
Said. Yeah.
Possibly. We'll reveal more if that's.
I mean, you can definitely play some of this with solo too. So, I mean, depending on what you do, but yeah, some of it.
But yes, but there's so much stuff. I can't get it all right, apparently. But that's why we have a Kickstarter page that will be live on April 29th, and everything will make complete sense on there. So which is why people don't communicate their Kickstarters via talking, because that would be a mess. But yeah, really exciting. But also we're working on other things as well. We're working on Genesis, which is the next, which is the expansion for Andromeda's Edge. And that's, are you working on that? Is that your baby?
I will. I think Peter's mostly working on that, but I will be deving some of it, I'm sure, helping with that. We're all hands on deck here, so it's not. I don't think I'm assigned that one. Peter can, but I go in and help and run stuff whenever I can. Yeah.
Yeah. So Luke Laurie is joining our team. But obviously he's the designer, and so the way it normally works is you have the designer and then someone else will dev it, because you can't dev your own game.
Right.
So
I mean, you can, but it's not a good idea.
You can, yes, of course you can, but it's just not our process. And you are working with your partner Erin, and you've got Brad on Whisperwood, and so you won't be deving your own game.
Correct. Yeah. Which I'm excited about, because some of my past games I was dev and development, and I mean dev and design, and it's much better to have those separate.
Here we go. Here's the proper specifics. Smiling Peter says the single bundle is every previous promo. Dragons and Dragons is the second bundle. There we go.
That makes sense. Okay.
I mean, I'm just going to click all, but just give me it all. But it's really
excited for Whisperwood. Awesome.
Yeah. I'm excited. I mean, I've not played it. I'm fascinated. I'm hoping it's a full frog game, right? It's all frogs.
There are frogs. There are frogs. There are definitely frogs.
What I do is I go full, and then you're going to take me back to what I actually want, which is there are frogs.
In fact, right now, can't promise anything, obviously, because we're still, stuff, but there's 2 different frogs.
Like 2 just different frogs? Just like...
A frog and a toad.
One's called Frog and one's called Bob? Like, what?
One's a toad, one's a frog,
Okay. Okay, so one's like stouter and
Yeah.
Um,
For now.
when I was younger, we had patio in our garden, and we pulled it up to create decking, and we found hundreds of toads just living under the patios, just flat toads, just living their best life.
Those little squishy ones.
They would just after living underneath patio for so long. And I'm just thinking about all the times I would have walked and jumped along that patio, and they'd have been like,
Oh, they couldn't hop.
They could, I think they just rig. I don't know. Like, it was bizarre.
Or they hop horizontally, like Frogger.
Chris, why haven't you progressed further on Genesis? It's not your assignment. Yes, why haven't you done this?
I would happily have it as my assignment. I mean, Andromeda's in my top 10 as well, along with Root. I love that game, and I would if it didn't work here. So,
you heard it here first. There's a frog in Duels. I have seen this. It's now reached this point where whenever Sandara draws a frog, she goes, "This is for you. This is your fault." No, she's very nice about it and goes, "Look, frog for Rosie." It's very sweet. And I now know that any frog she's ever drawn is for me. It's for me. So, yeah. There's even frogs in the game she's working on with the op, T-Witches. There's frogs there too. One of them, I think, wears a rucksack, which is adorable. But yeah, there is a frog in Duels. All frogs, all the time. Yeah, absolutely. All frogs, frog supremacy. What have I done? Oh my goodness, what have I done? I do have a little picture from one of our groups. Does Genesis have a frog? I don't even know.
I do. Well, I can't say anything though.
You can't say anything about that. Let me. This is the image I pulled from one of our socials because I had. Oh, see, it's telling me off because I have too many photos.
There you go. Peter said
it. Wait, what? Did he say it?
He said it.
Oh my goodness. Chaos. Absolute chaos. I'm sure everyone's learned a lot from today. That's how we like to roll. This fantastic picture from Seth saying, "This game is taking longer to play than it said on the box."
I haven't gotten to do my puzzle yet.
I need to do my puzzle. What I'd like to do, actually, is pitch it to the gang. Would anyone like to do a live stream where we speed puzzle and see who can complete the fastest? So we've got an hour. Who can get the furthest? It won't be me. I'm terrible at puzzles. But I think it'd be funny if in the Discord everyone's sharing their progress. We can go in. Maybe Peter, everyone can do it. Alex is in. I'm in. I haven't started mine yet. So I love that. Yeah, it's so great. Are you playing any games this weekend? What's your plans other than potentially playtesting?
Yeah, well, I'm probably going to play a bit of Whisperwood a little bit just to see something work. But other games, outside games, we have started Iridia. If you've seen that one, the big giant box one there.
Sorry.
That's a bark for Iridia.
Sorry. Mute me.
That's funny. Okay. So Iridia, let's see. We played hit Doug's home. Toby. Let's see. What's the last thing we played? We played what's the one? Aboria. It's very pretty and stuff.
Is that my Alley Cat game?
Yeah. That's a very fun one we just played.
Looks really pretty. The board looks so confusing. When I saw that for the first time, I was like, visually, just so much information. So I'm sure it's fine. But I was just like,
yeah. Once you learn the game, you know what to focus on. But you're right. Everything is just like, there's just so much there that it's almost just one thing, right?
Yeah.
Like if it's all the colors, it's no color. But I like the visual style of it. But it's a very good game, and it It's a little heavier than you would think with that artwork.
Yeah,
just slightly. Like it's not super heavy or anything.
yeah.
But,
I think it's one of Alley Cat's heavier games. They don't. They
yeah.
haven't. They usually do like they're well known for Tinder blocks, and they've just released a couple of new ones in that barbecues, which is
Barbecues.
Barbecues.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Related, like you're placing burgers and stuff on the tin, like on a little grill, and if they fall in, then you lose. So it's really. They've also got a great one called Tic Tac Trek, which is tic tac toe, but it's really interesting. I really like it. So you're placing little land tiles, and they've got to go on a matching one. They've got to go next to it, and then if you get 3 in a row, you place your little X or your O flame, like a little camping flame.
Mm-hmm.
And you're at the end, you're going to score all the empty spaces around your X's or your O's, depending on which one you are. So you're trying to get as far away from the other people getting in your way. It's really good. It's a little tin travel game. I really like it. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of travel games lately, even though I never leave the house, which is just kind of a weird, ironic situation. Can I be bothered to set up the big table? That's probably more of the reason. But yeah, I timed it so well. He was so quiet, and then 5 minutes before he screams.
We just got Septima.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
I know
game.
Peter played it, and so I read. I started getting into like reading the rule book, and we set it all up, and I just gotten a headache, and I was like, okay, we know how to set it up. So we'll come back to this and to put it all back up because I have cats. So you can just leave it out and stuff. And the headache wasn't because of the game. It was I hadn't drank enough water or whatever. But
it's a lovely game. I had a similar evening where we were like, let's play Septima, and maybe like 4 o'clock we set up the game, started playing, and then we had to pause for dinner. We were like, oh, we need to cook, and there was this long pause, and then we get back to me like, oh my goodness, we need to finish this. So yeah, that was just 2 player. It's a long game, and there's a lot of. I think the main thing is there's this extra section where I can't even remember what they are, but there's an extra section where you're working your little tabs, and you're working up to gain points or gain rewards. But that was the bit that I always kept forgetting about in my first game because I was so focused on running away from the witch hunters. But I was like, oh, that thing, that thing's really important. But there's also an expansion which has a frog, so the familiars. So it's tempting. But I think Peter played his first time with the expansion. He just went right in.
I got it. I got it for 2 reasons. 1, because he described it and it sounded interesting, but 2, because it at first sounded like a design that my partner's working on. I said, oh, we better grab that and make sure it's different. And it is very different. So we're still good. But
it's so good.
Well, when you work on designs, it usually takes a year or so, depending on what it is, maybe even more. And during that time, games come out and you're like, is it too close? And,
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Because sometimes the theme drives what you're creating. And if someone goes, I've got this theme and this mechanic, and you go, oh, am I going to have to switch that up? which is frustrating. And then sometimes you get games coming out at the same time with the same names, like Mycelium.
Right, I was just about to say the mushrooms.
Yeah.
Mycelium.
At the same time, and so I think one of them had to switch to Mycelium, a mushling game, and there was Mycelium, and then there was Mycelia by Ravensburger, and it's just a free word to use. So
Elizabeth Hargrave game was Grove or something like that.
Yep. Lot of mushrooms coming out. It's a common theme. We've seen fungi or whatever it was called before. Was a very popular 2-player. So but there's actually only, as someone that writes a lot of puns for my voiceovers, there really are only so many ways to say mushroom. Like it's like just those few, huh? Cool. So that's why mycelia probably became a very popular thing, which is more to do with the spores than it is to do with the mushrooms, I think. But yeah. Final thing we have to say is that for all of you out there who love Andromeda's Edge, or maybe missed Andromeda's Edge, or didn't get everything you wanted, there is an update you're going to want to go and read. So I would go and read the update on GameFound. So give it a look. It's very good. It's very exciting. There's a lot of It is I'm trying to switch my brain from Critter Kitchen, where I talk about tasty things. I have to switch to like, it's stellar. It's interstellar. Not delicious.
Are you spacing out?
Pardon?
I said, are you spacing out?
Spacing out. The amount of times I like Google space pun and it's just all that. And I'm like, or jokes. I don't want jokes. I want puns. Or idioms, as I love so much. But occasionally my Britishness seeps in and they have to remove it.
Space terms are very nebulous.
Yeah, I need to watch more Star Trek and get ready for Genesis. So yeah, we're over time, but I definitely want to just check with you. I am doing a big watch of time travel movies. I am watching all the time travel movies I could think of.
I had two I was going to ask you about.
We've moved on, Peter. It's all good. We've moved on. I'm serious. Like, lists.
Wow. I had two that I was going to ask you about that are very good.
Okay.
One was Somewhere in Time.
Oh, I know this one. It's not on the list, though.
No time machine, but time travel.
Yeah, true. Time travel's fine.
The other one is Time After Time.
Oh, Time After Time, the classic.
It's beautiful. H.G. Wells.
It's both very romantic time travel movies.
Yep.
Malcolm
McDowell plays H.G. Wells. He's chased by Jack the Ripper into what was then modern times, 70s. But it's very, very good. Yes.
Yeah.
I would think it holds up too.
All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read them off and you're going to go like, ooh. Just going to give me like very short. About Time.
What is that one?
About Time. Oh my goodness. Go watch that. Richard Curtis. Whew. If you like those, you'll love that. Time Traveler's Wife.
Okay, never saw that one.
Primer.
Nope.
Oh, wow. Time Crimes.
That sounds bad. What is that?
It's a really good Spanish one. I'm going to send you this list. You've got some
Is
work
that like
to do.
Time Cop?
It's not like Time Cop, no.
Okay. That's what it sounds bad.
In this one, it's the beautifully, it's what you love about time travel movies and the time crimes. But yeah. Terminator.
Oh, of course. Probably one of the best.
Looper.
Oh, very good one. Yeah.
12 Monkeys.
Yes. And that's such a weird one. Yeah, I love that one.
I love it.
Right there.
Arrival.
Oh, you're right. Oh, man, talk about that's yeah.
Source Code.
Source Code. I don't think I've seen that one.
Jake Gyllenhaal, like Groundhog Day style, on a train trying to find like a
I love Groundhog style movies. So.
We love that one. We love that one. Palm Springs.
Oh, I love that one. Yes. Yeah. Again, like a Groundhog Day kind of scenario, right?
Yeah.
Nobody ever talks about that one.
Yeah, I know. And it's really good. Time Trap. If you haven't seen it, please go watch it. It's so bad it's good. They go down into a cave and I'll send you this list, Peter, don't worry. They go down into a cave and time moves a lot slower down there. And so every time they go up, everything's going wrong.
Oh, okay.
It's messy. It is messy.
There was a Star Trek kind of like that where the planet went really fast. And so if you went down there, you spent years and then came back up a few seconds later.
Yeah, that's basically it. It's just, please, I'll post it on Discord, all right? Everyone can have my and please add more. Frequency.
I've heard of that one, but I haven't seen it. No.
It's old, yeah. What about Edge of Tomorrow? Come on.
With Tom Cruise. Yes, yeah. Tom Cruise. I was blown away by that, actually. I remember going to the theater thinking, okay, I'll watch another action movie. And
I have seen that movie so many times. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of him. I'm a fan of the movies he chooses to make, but I'm not a fan of him. But
I got it mixed up with City on the Edge of Tomorrow, which is a original Star Trek series, which again is time travel. So
these are all movies because if I went through time travel, I'm still on Fringe right now for the 15th rewatch. I think this list would never end. Prince of Persia.
I didn't even know that was a time run. I never saw it. Is that Jake
The
Gyllenhaal?
it's so it's so bad. It's
Is it?
so bad.
Okay.
And Gemma Arterton in a tan because they didn't know what to do with her because she's so British. That was the first movie we chose to watch because I was also working and I thought we'll just stick it on because it was the evening and I was like, I've got stuff to do, so whatever. And there's like a blade in, there's like a dagger, and they put the magic sand in it, and it.
Oh, okay. I remember that from the trailer. Yeah, that looked bad. I didn't see that.
Back to the Future.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that one. 2 and 3.
2 and 3, yeah. Bill and Ted.
Of course.
Of course. The Time Machine.
Oh, of course. Both versions.
Ah, there we go. I thought you were going to say which one.
Although the first version is way better than the classic is way better.
I don't really understand why they needed to give him a complex in the second one about his wife. The guy, I've read the book. I love the book. And he's just curious and wants to see. He's just a scientist. He doesn't need to save his wife, but whatever. Interstellar. Oh,
yeah. Yeah, very good. You know what's weird is I saw that movie and I can't remember much about it. And so I want to go back and watch it again. And usually I remember movies very well.
I saw it at the we have like an IMAX BFI, and it wasn't in 3D, but I felt like it was in 3D. And when it was the spinning and them trying to get them to fit together, I was literally like, it was incredible.
Hot Tub Time Machine from the chat. That's
interestingly, Hot Tub Time Machine is not on my list because
it's a good one.
It's not. Come on.
It's a good bad one. How about that?
My Time Trap is better. Donnie Darko.
Oh yeah. I
still don't know.
Call it that, but yeah.
I don't know what's happening in that movie still. I read so many things afterwards going, what iteration of timeline are we in to understand? No idea.
It's funny because on my show that I have on Mondays, we just did movies from 2001, and that's Donnie Darko was on my list.
Flight of the Navigator. Now that is a classic.
Ooh. Yeah, that is a classic.
I actually wrote this with a question mark. Lara Croft 2, I think, has time travel in it, but in the same vein as Prince of Persia.
Yeah, I didn't remember if it was 1 or 2, but yeah, they can like go back in time a little bit.
They're all stealing it from Galaxy Quest.
Reverses time kind of thing. Yeah.
Which is why Galaxy Quest is the next one on the list, because it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Yeah. Tenet.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was interesting. I didn't like it as much as I thought I would, though. In fact, because it's weird, you don't even get into that part of it until like 2/3 of the thing. Yeah, and
a lot of this is about me rewatching these movies to understand what happened, because I'm like, I really want to rewatch it with the understanding. So yeah. Frequently asked questions about time travel.
Never even heard of that.
It's so British. It's almost like Hot Fuzz vibes, but it's not that good. They go into a door in a pub and then they keep messing with their own timeline.
Oh, okay.
Zathura.
I've never seen it. No.
Zathura was the sequel to Jumanji. Before they made Jumanji movies.
Yeah. I didn't even know it was time travel.
Star Trek with Chris Pine.
I've got all Star Trek. Yeah.
Okay, but that's the only one that I want put on this list.
Oh, The First Contact is very good.
I know. But The Age I Am, Chris Pine in that was a big deal.
Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, where they go back in time to the 80s.
Yeah.
So good.
I mean, there's too many. There's too many. The Lake House. Magic.
I've seen. Wait, is that the Keanu Reeves one? Yes. So I saw it. I thought that was interesting. Yeah.
It's fine. Kate and Leopold.
No, didn't see that one. That's a Leonardo DiCaprio, right?
Living in the 90s, I think. Huh. In Time.
That sounds familiar. Which one is that one?
Justin Timberlake.
Oh, I have seen it, but I don't remember.
I am learning things about Alex Cutler. He loves Kate and Leopold. Oh, this is fascinating. This is fascinating. The In Time is like you have a little. Again, it's not really time travel because they're not moving.
Yeah, it's almost like Next. Did you ever see the movie Next?
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like that where he could go like see the first 20 seconds they had.
I also put Paycheck on my list. One of my favorite movies. But it's not, again, it's not really time travel.
It's not really time travel.
It's not time travel, no. Pleasantville.
Is that time travel? That's just going into another dimension, isn't it?
This is why it gets hand wavy.
Is that what you call this? Hand wavy?
Hand wavy. Girl Who Leapt Through Time.
I haven't heard of that one.
It's a beautiful anime. It's so good. Girl Who Leapt Through Time. She discovers the ability to sort of travel through time. She finds this thing, and then it like a lot of animes, it starts off really small scale, like in a school, and then suddenly things change. So definitely worth it. And then there's another one called Your Name, which is by the same creator, which is also great.
Oh, okay.
And I ended it with the Doctor Who movie because there was a movie.
But made for TV, right?
Yes, but it's
like
a movie.
You didn't go to theater. Okay. All Doctor Who. Yeah.
But I can't do all Doctor Who because it's just movies. Because if I go into like
fair enough
time travel series, we're stuck. But what is the best time travel series?
It's hard not to say Doctor Who. I mean,
it's good. It's very good. I'm a big fan. Mine is Dark, which is a German series on Netflix.
See, I never saw it. I've been thinking about watching it. I thought it was Swedish. Is it German? Oh, okay.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I've heard it was really good.
It's very good. And they actually finished it. They pitched it as 3 series, and they did it, and they got to do it.
Good.
And it's very important. So Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap.
There we go.
That's a good one.
That was a 10 minutes worth going over because I love time travel movies. Fun fact,
yeah, that was good.
I wrote my dissertation at university about time machines.
Wait, you didn't have Time Bandits?
Okay. Look, I am a big fan of Jim Henson, of all the old stuff. But there's some bits in there that freak me out.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't. There was a whole age like around Bill and Ted of like just people turning inside out and it being funny. And I'm like, can't do it. So I know Time Bandits is missing. I know. This is my own safe space. You can add to your list. There are many that aren't on there that I am not interested in seeing again.
Fair. It's your list.
It's mine and Doug's list. So the Inside Out thing is why I can't watch Galaxy Quest. Yeah, weirdly I'm okay with that one. But I agree. Was there any that you're like that should be on there apart from Time Bandits?
I mean, Time Bandits popped out first. You need some Star Treks in there. You don't have enough Star Treks. All the Star Treks.
The dog is attacking my door.
Great.
But
yeah, I'm sure some are going to pop up in my head. And so, in fact, I was thinking of one mid this.
Yeah, Source Code was on the list, Mike. It's a great movie.
Yep.
Excellent movie. I'll put the list.
But yeah, definitely check out Time After Time. And
yeah, I put that on the list and Somewhere in Time.
Yeah, both beautiful movies.
Yeah, I want some that I haven't seen as well, but I do like to just revisit films. It's like a sort of a safe space for me.
Yeah. Somewhere in Time with Christopher Reeves it's very slow. You have to be in that mood to watch the slow one.
Yes, I do know it because I've seen clips on TikTok. I do remember. I remember being fascinated. There's a bit that's very sad, and I know that bit very well. But
it's a very slow kind of thing. You have to be in the mood for that kind of slow project. It goes back to Victorian times, right? But, that kind of thing.
Deja Vu
Christopher
is amazing.
Plummer. Deja Vu. Oh, what about Butterfly Effect?
Okay, isn't it terrible? Is it not terrible? I thought it was terrible.
There's a director's cut that's terrible.
Okay.
I think the original theatrical.
That's not normally the way it goes, is it?
I think normally it is the way it goes.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I don't usually like director's cuts. You usually see why the studios are like, no, don't do that.
We're learning so much about Alex. Is he just sat there with like a glass of wine going, I could tell you some stories? I think
cool.
Brad has a time machine. This is his dinner time. Can you hear it? Yep.
Yeah, he's telling you.
But yeah. Well, anyway, I will put the list in Discord, and you can all. I don't know what channel. I have no idea what channel.
Oh, that's a good one. Adam Project. It's on Netflix.
I have seen that. It was good.
It was good.
It's got a trope that I'm used to now. But it was good.
Yeah.
Wow. I have to share information as everyone on screen is so we have shared a lot of information today.
Heard a lot.
And fun fact, all of it nearly is true. Nearly all of it.
Some of it. Hold on, the hand wavy. It's true.
That maybe. But yeah. But no, Doug and I had a lot of fun coming up with this list. We had a lot of fun because I studied time machines, the aesthetics of them. And I worked on Doctor Who at one point. And I don't know, it was a lot of fun. Oh, was he there?
Yep.
There's a pile of clothes that's sort of hiding him. But I did say 12 Monkeys. Of course I did.
Memento is not time travel, just from his point of view, I guess.
It's yeah.
You're seeing things from his point of view.
For sure. 12 Monkeys is based on a short film called La Jetée. And I love it because I got to watch all these time travel movies throughout my dissertation. Let's make a time travel. Yeah. This is
we already did.
Let's call it Brad's time machine. But yeah, so I got to watch, and that's how I found Time Crimes, which is not cozy at all, but it's very good. And I'm remembering it when I watched it when I was 19. So for all I know, I look at it and go, "Oh, 19-year-old Rosie does not have taste." But I think it was good. Let's make a time travel board game. Haven't you already made one, Alex? I feel like
sort of.
Is it not time travel?
Time travel is very difficult to pull off, and every designer I know has tried. Not everyone, but almost every designer I've talked to.
Is that time you killed me not a time travel movie? Time travel game?
That's Peter.
Oh, sorry. Oh, it wasn't Alex. I just assumed that Alex and Peter made everything.
They're the same person. Alex and Peter are pretty much
the same person. Secretly, Alex designed it. That time, I need to play it. But yes. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. As a reminder, go read the update on GameFound for Andromeda's Edge because it's very good and there's lots of exciting things in it that I want you to read. Everyone's now naming in much more relevant time travel games, but I just rarely get to sit down with Chris and pick his brain about sci-fi because normally we just go do our meetings and live our lives. And I think you like sci-fi based on the background that I'm.
Yeah, I like sci-fi a little bit. Star Wars Wall. Yeah.
Yeah, just and Star Wars is sci-fi. Yeah,
it's fantasy.
Yeah. Someone did a top 10 adventure like getting treasure movies on TikTok, and number 9 was Indiana Jones, and number 3 was Uncharted.
Unsubscribe.
I didn't subscribe. It just came up. I didn't subscribe, but everyone in the comments is going, What? Goonies was number 2, I think. But Ready
solid.
Player One being number 1?
No. Axel says the best one is Goonies. Yep.
I didn't grow up with the Goonies, so I don't have the reminiscence factor for it. And I, it wasn't really a movie for me, I don't think. But I get
growing up in that time period and everything like that, which I did. It's like a perfect callback to how I was as a kid. So.
You are young, Rosie. Thank you. It sounds like you're calling me like the young Neil or something from Scott Pilgrim. But no, I'm not that young. I just missed it by a few years. I think I just missed it. I grew up on stuff in like gummy bears, so clearly that worked out rather well for me.
What?
But yeah, well, thanks very much, everyone. If you have any more questions, please. There are many places on the internet that we are. We even have a Blue Sky now, so if you would like to follow us on there, we're on there. We actually have about 15 followers, so get us to 20. That'd be great. We also are on the Gram, which I like to call the Gran. I actually made an Instagram for my granny, and it was just photos that were square. But now they're not square, so that's probably not Instagram anymore. We also have, I will share the link for our Blue Sky in the Discord for you, and I should put it below here as well, actually. And we're on Facebook in many capacities, groups and all those kind of things, and all the places basically. So we can ask underneath here anywhere. So come and ask us questions, and we will answer them. And thank you very much, everyone, for joining us for this variety show.
Right.
There was a quiz.
Randomness.
But you know, when Peter's not here, chaos ensues.
Peter will be back next time, right?
Yes, and he'll be going, right, here's all the things.
Same Peter time, same Peter channel.
Yeah, same time. Actually, it'll be, finally, I'm back to the normal hours again, because it's been a 7-hour difference for the last 3 weeks.
Oh, right.
Whereas normally this starts at 7 p.m. for me. It's been starting at 6, which has just been like throwing me. So I'm excited to get back to the normal time frame. This has been very entertaining. I'm glad it's been entertaining. Let's get the dog up for a final shot.
Yep.
There we go. Hello.
Look so shy. He's like, don't look at me.
This is the dog, because we know what you did. You barked
Yes.
so loud.
We heard you.
We heard you. Look at that face. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.